Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about the main reason that exes come back. Now, as we say all the time, and I've said for years, every situation is different and every breakup is different. And that is true because scenarios are so unique for so many different reasons. And we see a lot of reasons why people come back after a breakup. And we go into those things in other videos, but today I really want to focus on the main reason that we see. So what do you think is the main reason people come back? To me, I think that the biggest thing is that if you've left your ex alone and they have had some time to really reflect and think about things, the pain of losing you was worse than what they expected. Losing you in their life had a profound effect on them. For whatever reason, the breakup happened. The relationship wasn't working. They weren't happy. And there are a lot of different scenarios for why that could have happened, right? Could have been something to do with you. Could have been something to do with them and their attachment issues, their mental health, whatever it may be. But when you leave somebody alone, which is what we consider no contact to be, not reaching out. We don't advocate for ignoring your ex for 30 days or 45 days or any nonsense like that. To me and to us on the channel, we find that immature. Okay, we think that if somebody's trying to repair things with you and making a bid to connect with you, that you should look at what's happening and evaluate it, right? Now, if you're getting breadcrumbed, that's a completely different scenario. But if you haven't heard from your ex for a while and they're making a bid to connect with you, we don't believe that some number of days, which is magically made up by some of these people, is going to help your chances. In fact, a lot of times if you ignore your ex, it just leaves them feeling rejected and hurt and honestly scared to reach out to you again. So why would you want to do that? It's acting immature, and we don't like to play games, right? Now, you can consider some of the things that we talk about a strategy, but we're not trying to act immature about it. We're trying to put you in a position of power and a position where you feel good about who you are and how you're handling things, acting like a mature adult. So we suggest not reaching out to somebody if they've broken up with you because they need to face that consequence. They're choosing to end the dynamic, the connection that they've had with you. They're choosing that, not you. And so if they're choosing that, then they have to live with that consequence. Just like if you go to the store and you're not sure about buying something, and so you leave it there, and then you walk around the store and you think, oh, you know what, I am going to get it. Well, if you go back and it's gone, that's on you, right? That's because you chose to do that and to leave it there and to walk away. You don't want somebody to feel like they can leave you behind, live their life, do whatever they want, and then just magically get you back. So if you're reaching out to your ex, they're not experiencing that loss. There's no real consequence, right? We want them to feel a consequence for their decision. If they want to end the relationship, then I wouldn't agree to being friends. Is that manipulative? No. As a matter of fact, I think it's more manipulative to act like you are their friend when you have a hidden agenda. Right? Some people will tell you to be friends with your ex so you can kind of weasel your way back in. But we don't like that approach. First of all, it's weak. Second of all, it's not as effective as standing up for what you want and respecting yourself not to go along with somebody else's terms. They're trying to change the dynamic, the terms of your relationship. And so you're saying, okay, you have every right to do that, but you're not going to have me in your life. You're not going to have me reaching out. You're not going to have me chasing you. Because quite honestly, our instinct, and especially if you've had attachment issues, attachment trauma, and you're insecure, you have your insecurities, is to chase them. I miss them. I want to talk to them so badly. You're overwhelmed with separation anxiety, and I know I've been there. I've talked openly about my life and trauma that I've had in my childhood with, my mom and my dad getting divorced when I was like a year and a half old, or my dad left when I was about a year and a half old. And so having to go there every other weekend with a stepmom that I didn't really like. I mean, she had a lot of mental health problems and still does. It caused me a lot of separation anxiety. And so I didn't understand that growing up. But it's had a profound effect on me in trying to understand why breakups happen, why divorces happen. Because quite honestly, when you work on your attachment issues, and those of you that are committed to personal growth, like doing the workbooks of the Creative Healing course 30 minutes a day, you're going to see the changes. You're going to feel the changes, and your ex is going to see those changes too. And you're going to be a lot more likely to reconnect with them and fix that dynamic. Fix that connection with them. Attract them naturally by acting in confident ways, right? What is the thing about insecurities? What's the opposite of insecurity? Secure, confidence. And that's exactly what we try and teach, especially when you're going through like the Creative Healing course. It goes into a lot of detail and really tries to help you heal your attachment issues. It's meant to be very therapeutic because you're in no contact. This is your opportunity to grow. Okay, take it. Don't let it go by. Don't let it pass you by where your ex comes back and you're not ready. You want to take this opportunity to focus on yourself and the mistakes that you've made in the relationship and how you can do better. Now, I'm not saying the breakup is your fault because many of you were good partners. But if you were making mistakes, how can you do better? How can you work through some of those insecurities and blind spots that you've had? Because you want your ex to really regret losing you. And if you're leveling up, if you're healing attachment issues and becoming more confident, quite honestly, that is a bigger loss for them. And even Coach Victoria has talked about that in her own personal life, where an ex that she had broken up with, she saw how he was making lots of changes over the years, or over that time. It probably wasn't years, but it made her feel a lot more attracted to him. And we see that all the time, right? If you're leveling up and you're growing, the loss for them is going to be even harder. That's what we want your ex to experience, the loss of you in their life. We want it to hurt. It's hurting you to lose them. Well, we want to flip that and make it hurt for them to lose you. Why? Because that makes them value you more. That makes them realize how important you are in their life. And you've got to allow the space and the distance and the time for that to happen. But if you're focused on begging and writing handwritten letters and stalking them and stalking their social media, you're wasting your time. I'm telling you, you're wasting your time. Your time needs to be focused on the activities like the workbooks where you're sitting down focused on that. What am I going to do differently? Not what are they doing today? Where are they at today? Because the bottom line is, at some point, they're either going to reach out or they're not. And all the stalking that you're doing doesn't make that more likely to happen. But focusing on the personal growth makes it more likely that you're going to reattract them, or maybe it's not a healthy situation and you should be with somebody else, or they never come back and you blow away all the other people that you date. Because very few people in this world understand any of the stuff that we talk about. And so we're always trying to help you with your experience through this breakup. Because you and your ex are having separate experiences. Quite honestly, more likely than not, you're going to outgrow your ex. And what I mean is you're going to work harder on yourself after the breakup than they are. And in your experience, you're in a lot of pain, especially in the beginning, a lot of hurt. You're struggling, you're suffering physically, emotionally, it's taking its toll on you. Okay? And in the beginning for your ex, they feel free. They feel excited. They feel happy. They're not really feeling that loss. But over time, the dynamic shifts. And think about it, if you're working hard on yourself and they reach out in, let's just say 6 months, and they haven't worked on themselves in all that time, think about the interactions you're going to have when that time comes. How much better off you're going to be. What kind of loss do you think they're going to experience then? Think about that. You don't have to tell them about all the changes. They're going to sense it. They're going to pick up on it. You don't have to boast about it. A lot of people will be like, oh, and tell them how you've changed. No, that doesn't work. Let them see for themselves and experience that loss. Because that loss and losing you in their life is very painful for them. And it's very powerful for them. And yes, that is the thing that makes them regret their breakup or regret their decision, is the loss of you. Now, nobody's perfect. I'm sure that you weren't the perfect partner, and I'm sure they weren't the perfect partner. We all have our own attachment issues. We all have issues with our mental health and trauma, and we all have various degrees about that based on our own personal experiences. So the best thing you can do is work on yourself and enlighten yourself and grow, because they come into your presence again and they feel it. They sense it. There's a disturbance in the force and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm feeling this way towards them again. Begging, pleading, good reminder texts, clean slate messages don't make them feel those things. That visceral loss and that visceral attraction that they feel in their gut of, what am I doing? I can't believe I'm losing this person. Personal growth, that is what makes people feel that loss. And oh my gosh, look at this version of you. This is the version of you I wanted all along. That's what they're going to be thinking, right? If you've had issues with depression or trauma or whatever that may be, and you were doing things that were insecure and turning them off, when you're this amazing version of yourself, that's how they initially saw you, as this perfect person. In those first 6 months where everything just felt like heaven and it was amazing and it was like a dream, that's who they kind of were drawn to. And you actually are becoming that person all the time, not just in those first 6 months where they don't really see your flaws. Now you've worked on those flaws and they're experiencing that loss of, wow, you really have changed. I don't want to lose this version of you. And they realize the grass isn't greener, okay? The grass isn't greener on the other side. They want to check it out. They want to see how it is. But, you know, they experience it, and after some time, they really realize it's not so great. That you were meaningful, that you cared about them, that they had a strong connection with you. And they miss that, and they miss you. And you can rebuild that and reconnect with them and do it in a healthy way for the both of you. Because that's really what a great relationship is going to be. When you're bringing a lot of joy and happiness and you're laughing with each other and you can feel close with them, but you're also strong enough to give them space, or you're also strong enough to support them when they're struggling with their issues and get to a great place. That's one of the things that we love about breakups, honestly, is that you will never be so motivated to change and to grow as you are when you're in a breakup. And I love that. Yes, the pain is incredible, and believe me, there's nobody that knows it better than me. And I know that pain. But I use that pain to grow and to change the world and to help you guys heal. And that's why we've kind of paved the way with all the stuff that we teach. And you can do that too in your own life and with your partner and with your friends and your family. So trust in the process. Trust that if you stay committed to the personal growth, your ex is going to be a lot more likely to see that loss when they get in front of you, to feel that loss. And you know what? If they don't come back, think about how good you're going to feel about who you are and where your life is headed. You're going to feel positive. You're going to feel strong. You're going to feel more confident. And you're going to feel a lot more confident with everybody else that you date. You can't control somebody and what they do. They have every right to be out there doing whatever they want, if that's what they want to do. But so do you. And if you want to use that time to grow and stay focused on personal growth, they will feel that loss. And it will hit them even harder when they miss you, when they think about you, when they hear about how you're doing, when they're stalking your social media. So, let them experience the loss. Don't chase. Don't reach out. That is making it easier for them. We want the loss to hit them harder. We want them to feel the consequences of their decision. It was their choice. Now they have to live with it. Okay? You can do the right thing by focusing on yourself in the meantime. So, hopefully this has been helpful to you. Of course, if you want to get my help personally, you can do that on my website, AskCraig.net. You could also get the Creative Healing course and the workbooks there. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.